Who else is over there? Rachel, I see.
Who is sitting next to Jeff?
My name is Ariel the Lion. I'm from New York. I'm originally from Jerusalem. I moved to New York in my 20s. I came here to do a special project in the old city of Jerusalem. We call it the Fifth Quarter. As its name kind of reflects, the idea is to talk about anything but the fourth quarter, about the space where there is no border that doesn't belong to anyone, what we call the fifth kind or the fifth element. And we're doing podcasts here with very special people. Today I had the honor to have Mr. Goldstein here. That my maternal last name is Goldstein. It's German. You knew it, German, Russian. Exactly. So we'll go back to our inheritance. Oh, an inheritance, our lineage. Maybe we can talk about it.
I don't mind where to be.
All right, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix this one over there.
Yeah, yeah. If you catch all of us with this one.
Jonathan, when you speak, it's a little bit hard to hear your voice is clear. So maybe still
Okay.
a little bit muffled.
Maybe see if it works better. I don't know. You can try the other one. If the other one works better, then we're gonna put a phone.
If this little closer, when you're a little closer to the screen, it's better. That's
There we go.
Otherwise, it's pretty good.
Should I open up the video? Probably. How you do that? Let's see. Start video. Hello.
Hello.
There we go. Let's see how that's gonna go. Like, I think you have all of us right now.
Yeah, if I sit here.
Yeah, now we can hear you better, Ariel.
It looks better.
All right, so I think now it works.
Can you hear better?
Guys, I think now we are, wait, I'm gonna move it a little bit like this.
Is there enough space for me to move a little bit this way?
I'm gonna even go a little bit more so you can see our entire body and soul.
It's perfect.
Yeah, we have a party over here.
Where are you located?
We are in the old city of Jerusalem in the Armenian Quarter. And we have this place for a few weeks, maybe months, I don't know, living by the minute. And maybe we'll give a little background on the place we're at.
You can?
So we were blessed to get this place by the French philosopher Elaine Michel. Probably it's not going to go. He 20 years ago, he took this place for a project called Imams and Rabbis for Peace. And he had a few conferences in Geneva, a few of them with Ravi Shankar and big names from the spiritual world, like what we say, the high shelf. And when I got the place from him for a few weeks, few months, I don't know for how long it's going to go, I thought maybe we should continue doing not the same, something that is more in the shelves on the, on the eye level. Or like everyone should speak about the subjects of interfaith spiritual exploration. Everybody should be part of spiritual spirituality in their way, in their path. So far, we had very interesting people here for the podcast. We currently just record it and upload it slowly to the YouTube channel before we're going out. Today we had a very special guest, Mordechai Ben Avraham. He was born in Ohio, Muslim, converted to Christianity, moved to LA. His mom started working for in the Kabbalah Center for the Bergs, and they converted to Judaism. He moved here 5 years ago and he's in rabbinical studies at Or Sameach, and he's going to become a rabbi. He's black Irish. He came here with his wife, and yeah, beautiful life story, beautiful spiritual journey, which is like kind of like exceeding every religious journey you can have, because he actually had all the steps to become what he became. And you know, very interesting person. I will send you guys later the podcast.
So Eva, do you wanna? Oh, Asaf is here today. That's great. Hi, Asaf. From Amsterdam. He's in
Yeah, just-
Amsterdam, right, Asaf?
Hold on, lovely. We need tulips from Amsterdam. Great. So we're waiting for a few more people to join, like Amrita from Sweden and Hannah Lisa from Prague and Yvette from Greece. But I think we can start. Usually we do a meditation, and I'll share about the vision of the co-vision. And I have some images from my own fifth dimensional artwork, because I thought we're going to work with the fifth quarter, I understood, as well, in the old city. And Jonathan will talk about the fifth angel and maybe a song. Jeff will bring his energy circle. And I think also Ariel DeLong will do a little bit of questioning or asking us who we are and what we do. And it will be lovely to hear more what your work is. So like a year and a half ago, we met at the old city in the corners of the 4 religions on the roofs, and we did a ceremony to anchor the energy in the old city through the foundation rock and through all the different religions. And it was really, really beautiful. And it feels like it's been with us in all the meditations, all the meetings we've had during the Corona times. One of the things that's really important is to have us all meet globally, and somehow the gateway has been through Jerusalem all the time. So it's wonderful to get another dimension of the fifth one today. And also we're bringing in songs and visions and co-creation. The main thing I felt like before when we did this is like 2020 is going to be really intense year. So I felt like we've got to have all the positive energy we can to envision a better time, a better future. And we still haven't gone through it. So Jonathan and I were talking about doing 2021, now 2022. And Jeff has been here from the beginning. So it's really nice that more of us are connecting to this vision. And also bringing forth the peace workers of Yerushalayim, Chaim Cohen, Liam McLean, who's been working a lot, and Dvora Klil was there in the beginning. There's been a lot of wonderful speakers also from Brazil, and we have people from Hawaii, but the last few months they've been too busy to get up that time. So we hope to reignite this again. Amrita's brought in a new project called the Worldwide Vision too, that we can talk about more today. And so I'd like to share 5 images, what I feel like is the 5th dimension through my artwork, and then a guided meditation. And Jonathan will bring that energy, or Jeff, into real anchoring to the physical Jerusalem. And then Ariel will bring us into another journey, I assume. Okay, so I'm just going to do a share screen before and a little bit of a story about how I see the destruction of the temple. We've had this 9 days of the month of Av, which has been very hard, and it's usually every year is very hard in the Jewish tradition and in Israel. So here is an image that I did in Berkeley, and it's about the man running away from the void. It's like, how do we maintain in the dark places, and how do we move out of them into the lighter areas in our lives? So that's called Man Avoids Voids. And in a way, it's kind of the darkness of the destruction of the temple, the holy places we're yearning for. This is called the cosmic cell, and it's about how do we connect to the galactic center, because the foundation rock to me, and also Kabbalistically, people talking about it as the foundation to the Milky Way, to the center of our galaxy, and to also the place where we're all the energy is coming out from Jerusalem to all over the world. And in a way, that image felt right here, both cellular, like macro to micro. And then God's hand, it's called. God is coming in to intervene, God willing, soon, so that we can have more peace in the world between all nations. It's called the hand of God, holding us lovingly in the cosmic womb. And then here's a woman flying on a wave. She's gliding in a river. So maybe that's the celebration with Tu B'Av we're coming into, the full moon of Aquarius, and more feminine energies coming into the world. And the last one is called the Cosmic Garden. And it's about celebrating together in unity, in nature, and preserving Mother Earth. As more tribal, maybe the 12 tribes, 13 tribes. Okay, so that was my sharing. And if people want to, I can do a little short meditation, and then you guys decide who wants to move forward from there, as you're in the holiest of the holy. I'm in Sweden, far away from you, but not in my heart. Okay, do you have the ability to sit in a comfortable position? And I'm going to close the window because there's some Vikings smoking downstairs, and they're talking loud. So, okay. So if you can close any devices or anything that's distracting you. Mamma mia, this world is going through a lot of hard times, and we really need all the energy to ground ourselves right now. בשם השם נעשה ונצליח. ישועות השם כרפיים. So let's envision Michael to our right and Michael is a protector and green emerald color. And to our left, we will have the space for Gabrielle for strength in these times. And Oriel in front of us to guide us with the light and love to see where we need to go next. And Raphael for healing, we can imagine the color green emerald. מימיני מיכאל ומשמאלי רפאל ומלפנינו אוריאל ומאחורינו רפאל ומעל ראשינו שכינת אל שומרת עלינו. Wow. So just want to ground ourselves into where we are in the chair, where we're sitting, and feel the Mother Earth underneath our feet, if it's the pebble stones of the old city, wherever you are in the world, and really feel connected to your higher self. And let's invite the white light above our crown chakra to come down as a strong waterfall of guidance into our bodies, our temple. Let's just breathe that energy into our body and let our aura relax and cleanse ourselves around our bodies, and let it be a fuzzy, warm waterfall of love and light. And cleansing all the impurities, our thoughts or negative energies in our body through all the limbs and legs down to Mother Earth, into the core of her magma. And as a recycling, she is the best Mother Earth, renewing our energy. And so let go of the day, letting go of the week, all thoughts, just slowly melting into our Mother Earth and letting all that loving energy back through our feet, through our body, torso, into our heart. And if we can put our hand on our heart and a hand on our stomach, just breathing into ourselves, saying, hello, I'm here this lifetime and I'm doing the best I can, and I have a mission. And who are we? What are our missions? Just breathing into ourselves. And looking into that friend, our heart, who's with us to the very end. And see if there's anything that needs to be shared, a gift to be shared with others. We're spoken through our third chakra, we're vision through our pineal gland and out to the crown chakra. And as we're connecting to ourselves, we're also imagining we are together at the four corners of the old city holding hands. And the hands are our connection to the heart. It's pulsating our love together. And then imagining we're strongly together, holding hands at the place of so many people's yearnings and dreams, and to manifest that in a future. Our feet are strongly rooted into the old city. And from that, we will bring forth spirals of golden energy from Mother Earth all the way up over the old city and all over the region and to the neighbors and Middle East. Rippling effects of white doves and golden rings. Even the dolphins in the water are feeling it, all the people, and to Europe, to America, Africa, to Asia, Australia, back to the Middle East, and just really sense of hope and envisioning a dome of gold and emerald and opal for transformation and healing of this planet with all the pain and suffering right now. All the ocean people, all the tree people, and all the gorgeous humanity we have, and the future children, may they be heard and healthy. And let us open up to this unity. All the people we know all over the world, let's send them love, our loved ones, family and friends. And before we come back to the old city, see if there's any more places we need to send love to. And we're flying back with the birds that like to go through Israel, the migration pattern, coming slowly back to Jerusalem and the old city, and holding hands, knowing that we have the power to vision a better future with human rights and dignity and health and beauty. May we all be blessed, all people. And may we hear more songs on creativity and our dreams to come through. Amen. And Jonathan has a song of an angel
Right.
that he'd like to share with us.
It was, hi everybody. It was a very, very strong meditation, Eva, and thank you very much for this. And you spoke a lot about the old city, and we actually are physically in the old city. This is very special and very strong, and I think that's the first time we're doing something that's, these gatherings actually physically take partly place in the old city, which is great. Very, very interesting step forward in a way. I'm very grateful for you all again being here, and I'm going to introduce you soon. So I just wanted to say a couple words about the number 5 that came to us a few times today. So Eva's art is art from the 5th dimension. So it's art inspired by celestial divine beings. And this is something that I've been feeling when I receive songs. I write a lot of songs, and a lot of them are sort of like channeled from a very clean and an accurate place. And so there's this angel that is not mentioned so much in the Bible. His name is Sariel. And the famous ones, at least according to biblical traditions, there are Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael. So they're the archangels, but there's a 5th one, and that's Sariel. So I learned about the existence of this angel, and then I found even evidence of people speaking about him in the Qumran scrolls, some information in Echad HaSefer in the I don't know, whole of the book. It's in the Israel Museum. There's all this Jewish history there, and it's pretty incredible. So I got this feeling for this angel, and I think it's very appropriate for today. And afterwards, I'll introduce Ariel to you. So yeah, this is a song about Sariel. It's very it felt like it came out very all inclusive. There's a it has a lot of powers. Like he's a teacher and he's a giver of strength and a lot of. He's praying for us also. He's an angel that actually prays for us also for the well-being of us. That came, which is very interesting. Yeah, and I want to introduce to you Ariel. Just give you a couple of words about him. And he'll probably come and sit here in 20 seconds or so. Ariel is a very, very spiritual, very open-minded person, which I just very recently met, but we have a very, very deep connection, it feels. And he lived in New York for 15 years, and he's writing for all kinds of spiritual magazines online. And he also just recently lived in Costa Rica for 7 months.
A year and a half.
A year and a half. Ooh. Well, maybe the last trip, right? Was 7 months or something.
No, it was
a year and a half. He's correct.
It was,
a year and a half.
It was a year, 4 months in Mexico, another 2 months in Costa Rica, all during the pandemic.
Yeah, all during the pandemic, the corona. So that was a nice way to pass the times of all the quarantines. And what was interesting is that, okay, everybody's channeling the fifth dimensional art, and Ariel came with this knowledge about let's develop the energy of the fifth quarter of the old city, because this is what's kind of missing, you know, from the wholeness, or like, let's say, the ascension of the old city as a whole. Yeah, for sure. So here's Ariel. Let him. You want to sit here, or
I'll be here. See me?
okay?
Yeah. I don't know where should I start. Right before this broadcast, me and Mr. Goldstein. Is it okay that I call you Mr. Goldstein? Talked about energy ball. And it reminded me one of my projects that we worked with Brahma Kumaris and Dalaguna Muktananda that are specialists of healing from a distance. And I was thinking maybe it's similar in a way. And then I find out that many methods we are applying today that come back to our consciousness are very similar in its format, in its roots. Most of them based on magnetism, which means nothing exists without something that realized that it exists, and that it's not about the particle, it's about the movements of the particles. It's about the harmony those parts create in the room, and not about the particle in the room, and trying to find out what is this particle is, and the physical of this particle, which kind of relates to Einstein and quantum physics, which are theories that are based on the particle, how the particle reacts in relative to other particles. Where we are speaking about harmony and how you create that harmony. How I got into all this, I'm asking myself questions. If you ever, if anybody wants to jump in and ask questions while I'm speaking, please do. 7 years ago, me and my friends had an epiphany. Our both companies got liquidated, and we both find ourselves with each other same day, and we know each other since we're 8 years old. Always he was the skeptic, I was the spiritualist. Crazy debates. Maybe you both see. And he's a biotechnology master, runs biotechnology companies, doing project that I can't even speak about right here. And he came to this day and he was like, all my 15 years of work went to nothing because the placebo effect was as strong as my medicine. And we came to the point that we're like, we don't even remember the conversation, and he was that genius, he recorded it. And then he transcribed it. And then you read what we were talking about that day. And it was kind of like we were on what we called fogging. Talking out of talking. You know, when you have big traumas, like works of years get, things coming out of you. And we came out with a language we called intention magnetism. The magnetism of intentions. And it's based on electromagnetism in a way, in many ways. And we came out with an equation, and we released 2 booklets, and we went out on conferences all over the world and meetings, and we met with Deepak Chopra and Larry Dossey, and we spoke with Noach Harari and Uri Geller, and we were just like, we found something, and every time you think, you find about it. And then I realized the first rule of intention magnetism. Every time you speak about it, it changes. Because it's kind of like our words creates it. And every time we speak about it, it changes. So every time we speak about it, we have to reinvent something. And the equation changes. And then I was like, all right, so I have to go back to mysticism and find out where it's maybe people probably, I haven't discovered anything. I'm just have an idea that's probably been here in the past. So we went to the book of intention, the book of creation. And then we find out that intention magnetism based on what we call, based on book of creation, creator magnetism. And when you spoke to me today about energy balls, I was like, perfect, that's intentional magnetism. And I was trying to find out where's the creator magnetism. And then you're like, I bring it from myself. That's the creator magnetism. Creator magnetism is that somebody have to be responsible. Some human have to be behind it. It cannot just come. Like intentions, they can come as in harmony of us coming together here to talk about a certain intention that we all agree on, and we're coming around it, and we call it, this is the mutual intention of today. And we all agree on keeping this intention. However, creator magnetism have to have a person behind it that is the responsible for that. Like you say, when you create the energy ball, first you have to kind of like give birth to it. Livroi is a milah, it's a word, it doesn't exist in English. You don't have that word. And once we find out that it's already here, in a very complicated set of books, I don't know if you ever read Book of Intentions or Book of Creations, they are supremely complicated. I don't know if I even understand anything I read. I just told to myself, I understand what I need to. And we went to the Chabad Center in Brooklyn, the Atlantic Avenue, where's the Rabbi Milubavitch. We went there, me and another scientist, my partner in the collective, Idan. And we're just coming and we're like, let's just talk to those guys. And we started to speak with them, and every time they say the word God, he got like a little bit shimmered. Oh, they can't say this word all the time. And I was like, just imagine energy. And when he speaks, I had to do translations between the two. I'm coming from an Orthodox family, so I have that ability to do the communication between science and spirituality a little bit. And they were like, you know what, you remind us one of the drasha of Rabbi Milubavitch called the Bocher, the chosen. I'm going to go into the drasha, to the sermon, but the bottom line was you choose to be chosen. And that's the bottom line of creator magnetism. One person has to choose to be chosen. It's the main idea of the drasha is that it's not enough to be the chosen people. Even that's the if you're in, let's not get into Jewish or not Jewish because it's not related to anything. Every person that chooses to be chosen is a creator magnetist. And then it can explain how people that that are not from the chosen people can be that great in the world because they choose to be chosen. It's not enough to be born from the chosen people. You have to also choose to be chosen. And then we had a whole amazing, one of the best years of my life, a year that we had CBS following us with the documentaries, and we interviewed 12,000 people if they choose to be chosen. How everything works with CBS, and that's the last time I'm doing it. And, it's in one of the archives, and it waits for the day that it just got lost during the corona. And anyways, so I have a chance now to do it again in a different format, which is the old CD, fifth quarter, fifth column, as we call it. And yeah, let's see what happens. I don't want to interview you guys today because I don't think that I know you enough, or I know what I'm talking about, or who you are. I invite each one of you here to have a conversation. I think one-on-one or maybe two, it's enough. So every person have their moment to really express their method, because as I see, each one of you guys have a lot to offer. So in a group, it might get lost. But maybe that question, how you guys, each one of you choose to be chosen. Maybe we can start with that, and each one can speak a little bit about it.
Also, I also wanted to say hi to Hannah Lisa Omer that came in, and
Rav Yitzchak.
yeah, and Rav Yitzchak also, and Chaim Cohen, and also I didn't see if Rachel is still with us, but it's very wonderful. And Eva, I wanted to ask you, would you like to have Jeff lead something, or maybe Amrita is not in yet, right? So we can.
Yeah, Amrita, they just have an open house today. So I just want to share that Hannah Lisa wants to show some of our artwork from Jerusalem Old City, maybe. And Rav Yitzchak has a poem about the Tu B'Av coming up. So it would be lovely to have Jeff also do the energy work maybe in between them. But I also want them to share what Ariel was asking, how does their work indicate being a chosen sort of goal in their life, or how do we become chosen? That's a good question. So maybe when you share, you can talk about that too.
If I could just jump in, just to answer your question, just to get the conversation started. A long time ago, I read a statement that said the world awaits the heavenly gift that you alone can give. And so when you're giving your gift, you're chosen. When you have to choose that, and then you have your gift, and it's there. And it's just waiting for each one of us to bring it out. And I think our purpose of all these podcasts in 2020, 2021, and Energy Ball and everything, and music, just relates to coming to that of accepting. It's just as you were saying, it's so beautiful. Just kind of coming into this accepting of who we are, and not just accepting it, but then letting it grow. So.
I want to piggyback on that because I was once at Ascent in Sfat, which is the most Kabbalistic city in the world, and at Ascent, and they had a class, and they were saying Hashem brings us all these different gifts, and it's a chovah, it's a mitzvah to bring it out in the world. And I was like, wow, should I do my art? That's kind of too selfish. Why should I just do my art instead of Tikkun Olam? Tikkun Olam is more important, but maybe my art is also Tikkun Olam. So we have to feel, where do we do the choosing or being chosen? That's most rewarding for ourselves and the world, I think. So that's why maybe Hannah Lisa can talk about it also, because she's a great manifester of this old city vision that also Yitzchak Chayutman, who passed away, to our grief, he had a really good idea how we can envision the third temple, which is appropriate to talk about now in this week. And then I know Rav Yitzchak needs to also to share something shortly because he has to move forward. So it's okay that you wait a little bit, Yitzchak, for the next sharing.
Just it depends how little bit is. I can wait a few minutes, yeah.
Okay, so who feels, how do you say, called to share about the chosen work and art? Annalisa, do you want to share your vision? Can you hear us? Oh, she's on mute. Ask to unmute. Can you unmute? There you go.
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Now we do.
I have this presentation which I already tried to show you about 2 months ago, it was, about our cooperation with Dr. Chayutman, with Yitzchak, Zichrono Livracha. So I I don't know if you would like, you know, these paintings we collaborated, we did to, I made with his inspiration. So I don't know if I should talk about that again, or what would you like to see or hear?
I would personally really hear how you both created his vision on a more physical level for us to perceive that there is a possibility for the third temple. Maybe you don't have the possibility to share the pictures now, but you can talk about how that was chosen for you.
How was what chosen?
How for you to portray the visions of the third temple, how's that fulfilling for you?
Well, for that, I maybe I should show some picture. Well,
Yeah, if you want to share screen.
now I don't see, where did I put it?
Let me do make you
Okay,
host.
I have it here. You see
I
it?
make you host. You know how to do the share screen? I'm making you host. You have to accept.
You see this painting?
You have to click on that green button at the bottom column, and
Green
then button share screen, and then your artwork will show on the desktop.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know where is that green, what you say, green button.
At the bottom where it has the video.
Oh, yes.
And the,
Okay, here, yes, this,
you press on the share screen,
yes,
the little button. Yeah.
share. Oh,
There you go. Good.
yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you asked how did we create this together? This was the first painting we made together. And Yitzhak was a very jolly guy and very intellectual. So, and he was he was all in the heavens, his thoughts. So he needed somebody who could bring down his visions to earth. And that somehow he chose me, though I have no, I am not religious, and I didn't know nothing about these visions of heavenly Jerusalem, and didn't read Yechezkel then. But still, probably I touched with my intuition, with my woman intuition, these symbols. And some of them, even now, I am understanding that I did touch some things which I even didn't know then what it was all about. So for this picture, for instance, Yitzhak gave me a really very, very simple sketch, which was, he wanted a kind of balloon, and the balloon, this cube, the Bet HaMikdash, which is a cube, is under the balloon, and that's it. That's what he gave me. I don't have this, I didn't find this sketch of his, but you can imagine, as I say, something very, very simple a 4-year-old could draw. So I didn't bring here my sketches. I made many sketches, and from these sketches developed this very intricate symbolism, because our talks were about they were continuing throughout a year. It took a year. This painting took us a year. And this is the most intellectual of all these 4 paintings we made together. So what came out of this cube, this is a multi-dimensional cube came out of it. Like here, you can see it more better. It means that it is not possible to see in 3 dimensions. There is an optical illusion. And I touched here, for instance, an element which I didn't even know that Yechezkel was talking about, that the Bet HaMikdash, the Holy of Holies, it had ta'im. It means cells. And I made these cells, and then Yitzhak said, oh, these are the ta'im in Bet HaMikdash. And in fact, this is something very important, because what came out of the vision that the 12 tribes are gathering around Jerusalem, and their higher selves are pulled up into the Beit HaMikdash, heavenly Beit HaMikdash, and they are cleansed in these ta'im. In fact, the word ta in Hebrew, it is taf, which is the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and aleph, which is the first. So from the end to the beginning, they cleanse the ta, that's what it means, 22. And it is connected as well to the DNA. Here there is this, you see, I made it like as if this DNA helix was holding the Beit HaMikdash in heaven. A very complex symbolism. I wrote it all down. I don't know if you would like to get into it. It is a long explanation.
So maybe ask Ariel if he has any more questions.
Yeah, please.
In the old
If you have some questions, that is easier.
Is Ariel there? I think it's really wonderful to see it manifesting in a 5D or 3D. And,
well, Yitzhak, in every picture I put him. Last time I talked about
oh,
it.
that's
Here is
right.
Yitzhak.
Yeah.
You see him?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
And he's holding moon compass, because he was a very powerful male figure, but he knew how to cooperate with women. So that's how he really gave form to his very abstract ideas.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that was very special about him, and it was really on a very pure level. Everything, yeah, our cooperation. Yeah.
May he still be blessed high above.
Yeah. We were very good friends, and on a very pure level, just around creativity. So that was really wonderful and very unique.
Fantastic.
Once in a lifetime, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so this developed. In fact, Yitzhak wanted this painting to be a play board for a game of which is called The Quest to Heavenly Jerusalem.
Mhm.
And I wrote down all the symbols, about 150 symbols, which the players should go through. And that's why around it there are the Sfirot, 10 Sfirot, and the letters, Hebrew letters of the Hebrew alphabet arranged according to the Sefer Yetzirah arrangements. So, but we never came to realize this play. Maybe there will
Why
be.
the word? Can I ask why the letter 0 is in there?
I don't hear you well.
Can I ask? I'll ask. What's the meaning of the letter 0 in there?
In the game,
There is a letter 0. Yeah.
The number 0.
The number 0. Sorry.
Eva Ariela, could you please tell? I don't
He's
hear.
asking about one of the symbols. I think it's on the left bottom. It's a 0. It's not a letter. It's a number. So he's wondering why that is there.
The Sfirot.
That there's 0, a number 0 on the left bottom.
The
There,
number
yeah.
0 is 10. It is the 10 Sfirot.
Okay.
10 Sfirot, and there are the 4 animals of the Merkava. The eagle, the man, the lion, and the
Ox.
ox, yes.
Wow.
So that's, yeah, and here there is 0, there is nothingness, which is, the nothingness is above, and from this nothingness comes down the name, the holy name, Yud Kei Vav Kei. And there is a very complex symbolism. This is I called it the mastermind, which contains the male mover. And when Yitzhak saw it, he said, "Oh, this is Metatron." I never heard of Metatron then. And the female, the face is the face of the female of Shekhinah, of the formal expression, and her eyes lift his wings of perception. And then I was reading Huxley's book, Wings of Perception. Maybe some of you read it. Yeah, so from there I got this symbolism of wings of perception, and I connected it with this image.
The letter 0, I'm sorry that I'm back to it, the number. Yeah, I'm saying on purpose that it's a letter because I researched it for a little bit and I found out that it came out by mistake between the Arabic and the Hindus. The Arabic used to put a dot at the end of the 6 numbering system. It used to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 1. And they used to put a dot, just like, you know, that's where it ends. And the Hindus, I mean, there are many stories about how 0 came to the world, but that's one of them. The Hindus thought that it means 0. And then when they came up with the 10th system of numbering, they used 0 as 9 and then 1 0 and then 1 and then 1 1 1 2 1 2. Philosophically and spiritually, 0 doesn't exist. There is no 0 in the world. There is nothing that is really nothing.
Okay, so maybe I should have written there 10.
No. Maybe it's great over there because it's raised, because otherwise we would not think about it.
Well, Yitzhak didn't think of that, what you are saying. So I was correcting everything he said I should correct.
No. I like it like that because 0 is a very powerful letter.
Ah, okay.
It means what we cannot perceive. We cannot really perceive nothingness.
Yeah.
We can perceive anything else, but we cannot really understand what it means nothing. You know, when somebody comes to me and tell me when you die, you just go. I mean, where? You know, you can't really what it means just go. Just what? It's 0 is a very interesting philosophical thing that works great for trade. If I give you a banana and I take away from the banana, you have 0 banana.
Okay.
However, if we try to make it into the word, we can't really perceive what it means. There is nothing. It's very interesting.
It's also another thing about 0, especially if you're talking about the sefirot, but any way that you count any numeric sequence that you want to put in there, then the 0 is kind of like your beginning and end of a cycle. So it's just a point that marks the beginning or the end of a cycle. And then there's always another cycle. You can say that it's a kind of cycle of a spiral going up. So like whatever numbers you have, let's say you count to 10, then the 10 is like your next 0. Then you start again, and then you're starting in like a similar circle, but it's a little bigger already. And then it's kind of also works in a spiral this way. And this is really how things work. So the 0, it's very important. It's not that it's necessarily has to represent nothingness. It could also be just a point of balance, because we reached a certain point. If we were in minus before, now we reached 0, okay. Let's say that I have debt in the bank and I paid the debt, and now I'm in 0, so I'm in a better place than I was before. In a way also, this is just a very materialistic thing, but it's also very, very important, you know, to be able to not be in a minus, not be lacking and like losing strength in some way. And then when you reach the 10 point, then you go towards the 20 already, which is going to be your next 0. But then between the 10 and the 20, you already expanded yourself, and you always have a 1 attached to it, like which is actually a 10. So the 0 sort of like is more prominent in your second cycle of counting. And then in the third, it's even more prominent because you have a 2. So it's like you have 2 zeros. First you have no zeros, but something, and then you have 1 0, and then you have 2 zeros in the 20s, and so on and so forth. So it's a very, very important point along the if you look at numbers like a cycle rather than like a straight line, which is not really how things work.
If you put it in the matter of like sefirot,
yeah.
So E0 is Keter or E0 is Malchut?
It's both. As below and so below.
Somebody said it's both. Yeah, it's both.
Anyway, this, if you allow me to come back to this painting, it was the first one. We didn't have yet the others, so it was only afterwards. Every picture came out from a different worldview. So there are 4 sides, and this one is from the West, because as you can see, the geography is not ordinarily usually down is south, but here down is west and here up is east. It means that here is the Mediterranean, and this is Europe and Africa and Jerusalem in the center. And we can see very far east to India and to the left even to Japan. So
Wonderful.
Yeah, so this is kind of imaginary geography.
It also looks a little bit like a viewpoint from the Americas. So maybe that's how the Americas sees this
Yeah.
chunk of the planet in a way.
So what you're saying, Hannelise, is that this painting has like layer after layer after layer of metaphors all put into it.
Yeah,
And so your game that you were talking about really relates to bringing these metaphors out into life in some way.
yeah, it has to be written. It has all the elements written already. I have it. But the game has to be created. How it is played, the how, because the elements they are there. And I have some sketches that I made, like there are the squares. I don't remember now how many, like according to these squares, like 10 by 7, probably 70 squares. It has, and in the center, if you can see, in the center of the Bet HaMikdash, there is the, as you were talking about 0, so there is the 0, the white, you see, the white square, nothing. So that's the center. And that's where the player should get to.
And can't see the painting that's on the right. Can't see it very well. You can move everything with that. Let me see it better.
There are supposed to be cells she was talking about.
You see here I have many sketches until I arrived. Just a few of them I brought here to show. Until I arrived, and there are exact numbers. I didn't even know. Yitzhak counted all these squares, and then he received answer what kind of symbolic number he received. For instance, I even didn't know. I just work according to my visual instinct.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and here is the sun and moon, and the whole picture is according to the composition of the tree of life. Composition, it is symmetry, as you can see. So, Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, Da'at, Chesed, Gvura. Tiferet is the center of the Bet HaMikdash. Yesod, Yerushalayim, and Gvura, Netzach, Hod, and down here is Malchut. And down here, Malchut, you can see opposite Yitzhak, there is a baby. And the baby is holding up a sukkah, Sukkat Shalom, and yeah.
Okay.
Battery?
For instance. So these are part of the symbol is contained in the painting.
Well,
So
thank you.
if you have, if you know somebody who would like to play with this and would like to create a game, Adraba.
Great, thank you, Annalisa. And I feel like your vision inspires, like
Yeah,
maybe.
well, just to add that Yitzhak, his vision was that the peace in Middle East would come through all the opponents would play together. Yeah. and with this vision he made all kinds of games, but I don't know how much of it is realized to the end. Maybe some of it will, hopefully, that people will play, and boys need to make war like playing. They have to play war, so so they could when they are grown-ups as well. And it is really happening today in the virtual world that there are so many games that people play these worms virtually. And that's what it is about, the third temple. It is a virtual temple, heavenly, virtual, not of stone anymore. That was Yitzhak's vision, virtual. And we are already in this reality today. Our meeting is virtual now.
Well, I feel like we should have Jeff do an energy circle around this painting. Like, could we do that, Jeff? Like,
Sure.
visualize it through her
Okay.
work?
Can you all see me? Okay.
Mhm.
So what we're going to do is, wait.
Oh, wait. Oh, Yitzhak said he has to go. He has a poem. He's been
Okay, so let
waiting.
Yitzhak go first.
Yeah, Yitzhak, could you hold a minute? We'll do the energy circle.
Hannah needs to first give Eva back the hosting so she can take off the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how to do that, Hannah Lisa?
What? To get out?
Yeah. It's hard to keep space for everybody to share and people have to balance everything.
Yeah, I am not sure.
Okay, just
Hide self view. Hide self view.
click on the top green, just click on it and it will go away. And then the top green.
Top green, your screen sharing. Oh, okay.
Just
Stop
click on
share. Okay.
There you go. And then make yeah,
Okay.
Go Yitzhak. Yeah, thank you, Annalisa. I was wondering.
Thank you. Thank you.
Erev Tov, everybody. I want to say how much I was touched by that, because you have to understand where I'm sitting is in this apartment. Yitzhak Chayutman, we were office mates, and he sat right there at that desk. Where's that desk there? You can see that desk there, working on much of these things, and I would see this process, and I really want to. It was wonderful to see the detail, and and I think it just should be published as a book, and you should talk to his wife, his family about for the next yahrzeit or something, putting them out. I would buy a poster of that. The game is very complicated, but just simply a poster of it.
You can receive a poster. We have so many posters,
I would like to, because it's really exquisite. And I want to offer what I'm going to offer also in his holy memory, because he was an important chavrusa in my life since I returned to Israel 10 years ago, and really until he passed away. With your permission, I would like to share from Torah Rav Kook on Tu B'Av and explain that, first of all, it's why is Tu B'Av, why is 15th of Av significant? So Bnei Yissaschar points out it's actually Sefer Yetzirah, but if you look at a permutation of the divine name for the month of Tammuz, right? Each month is one of the permutation of Yud K Vav K. It's 4 letters, but 3 different letters, and they can be combined in 12 different ways. And in each month, it corresponds to a formulation of the name. So, for example, the first month, Nisan, the permutation is Yud, He, Vav, He, the divine name as is, and then it starts to permute. And we've just come out of the Tu B'Av is the coming out of the 6-week period that starts from the beginning of Tammuz and goes till the 14th of Av. And Tisha B'Av the rabbis didn't make a fast for 2 days, but the destruction actually was finished on the 10th of Av. And, we could have been, the morning of Tisha B'Av was strong for a number of days. And the permutation for the month of Tammuz, which is the month before Av, is He, Vav, He, Yud, the divine name backwards. And then for the permutation for the month of Av is He, Vav, which is again backwards, Yud, He. It realigns on the 3rd week, and because each letter corresponds to one of the 4 weeks. But on Av, the first 2 weeks are backwards. From the 15th of Av, it goes into Yud He, and it realigns, and we go into Elul, and we're in much better shape. So that's why Tu B'Av is this very special time, because in the Sefer Yetzirah explanation of reality, which that's one of the beautiful things about, I really love that last painting because it's really a tremendous presentation of much of Sefer Yetzirah. So then this would be the day that the maidens would go out and dance, and the young men and all the men would, whoever, was a day to meet the love match, your love match. And I wanted to share a little bit, just one poem, but first a short introduction to it, because Rav Kook is the Rebbe of love. His Torah represents the transformation or the transition from the Torah of Yirah, which was the dominant attitude in exile, Yirat Hashem, Charedim. The return to Israel is the return to love of God. And he's really the rabbi giving expression to the Torah of love. And so in Midot HaRaya, which is his book on the moral principles, and it's alphabetically based, and it begins with Ahava, starts with an Aleph. And within that, he writes the following: the heart must be filled with love for all. The love of all creation comes first, just the love of creation. Then comes the love for all humankind. And then follows the love for the people of Israel, the children of Israel. All these loves are expressed. What does it mean to love? These loves have to be expressed in practical action. To love is to do good to others and to seek their improvement and elevation. The love for people must be alive in heart and soul, a love for all people, a love for all nations. And this love must express itself in a desire for their spiritual and material advancement. And he concludes the piece by pointing out that the entire Torah, all its moral teachings, its commandments, its good deeds, and its studies, has as its objective to remove the roadblocks so that universal love will spread and extend to all realms of life. That's why the Torah is in existence. And then he wrote a poem which can be read like Shir of Shirim on the personal level and on the divine level. And I'll start out, I'll read the first verse and the last verse in Hebrew as well as the English, and the rest just in English. because if it's for, does everybody here understand Hebrew? I mean, whatever, but in terms of time. But it's called Shirati Yafati, my song, my beauty. Shirati Yafati, Yedidat Anoach, Libaftini Az Biyafi Einayich. My song, my beauty, beloved of my youth, my heart was stirred in the beauty of your eyes. You approached to commune on mountains of fragrance, and my spirit rose at the sound of your footsteps. And then years passed without pleasure and light. You hid from me, and your footsteps disappeared. The heart of the lover was like a withered leaf, choking in agony, yearning for a vision of your being. My soul was mute from whence you forgot me, and the songs of life were strangled in silence. Return, my beloved, to your abandoned lover. In the light of your eyes, illuminate his darkness. A sleeping spark of the divine returns, awakened, and the empty heart is filled with the spirit of life. My violin, my beauty, in spirit I will awaken. I will speak of the heights that fill my heart. I will sing to life, to the divine, and to all humankind, to the heavens and the stars, to the fields and the meadows, to every ray of life, in every hidden corner, to every spark of courage stored in every soul. Bring me your beauty after this long separation. Return to me your joy, my beauty, my song. Havili yif'ech acharei perud aroch. Hashivi li sesonech yafati shirati. So may we be blessed to commune with our Yafati Shirati on every level, personal and divine. Tu b'av sameach me'od.
That's
And I need to go. Thank you so much for letting me share this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And everybody is invited. We have a website now, haorot.com. We have a lot. This poem actually will be on it in a few hours. So feel free to check in. Shalom uvracha.
Thank you so much for the lovely poem.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Shalom, Amrita. Nice to
Shalom.
see you.
Shalom, shalom.
Hi, Yitzhak. Shalom. Jeff was just gonna do an energy circle. Wow, that was a beautiful poem. Wow. So we've been in high of the skies of Yerushalayim. And Jeff, how do you feel about doing the energy circle now, or
I think it
Jonathan?
might be a good time for Yonatan to sing a song.
And then Amrita or you, whatever feels inspired.
Yeah, me, I don't know if you're ready for it.
I think it would be good to have some music before the energy circle.
Okay, sure, Jeff. So Jonathan,
Okay, I'll do it. Y'all hear me okay?
Let me just get out of this.
No? Can everybody hear me okay? Okay.
yep. Yes, Jonathan.
So I have this song, which is bringing us back to the middle of the road, and also speaking about how if we compromise whatever's less important for us, then we can move forward very well. And this song I wrote for the band, which is called Wasat El Tariq. My band is half Palestinian, half Israeli, and we haven't been able to see each other much since the Corona started because they don't have permits to come in. It's very difficult to get them permits. So part of this also, I make this prayer that we can bridge and like really love strongly enough so that that we can see each other, and be with each other, and accept each other's gifts, and learn together. Between light and dark, colors black and white, with dove and eagle we are sharing brains and innocence. Between light and dark, colors black and white, with dove and eagle we are sharing brains and innocence. We all meet together in the middle of the road, the middle of the road. We all meet together in the middle of the road, the middle of the road. Left and right, deep and shallow, as we learn to hold it all together. Left and right, deep and shallow, as we learn to hold it all together. Wishing now for a better future, singing, dancing, and praying as one. Singing as one, dancing as one, praying as one. And now we're sharing the middle of the road, the middle of the road. Now we're sharing the middle of the road, the middle of the road. Love is giving us. Love is now growing. Love is fun. Love is fun. Love is always in the middle of the road, the middle of the road. Love is always in the middle of the road, the middle of the road. In the middle of the road, the middle of the road, في وسط الطريق وجدنا الحب. Interesting. I didn't even think about it, but this one came to me now, and then like, wow, the word love is there a lot. You were just talking about Tzchak was just talking about love a lot, and it's just it's very beautiful. Yeah, definitely also for Tu B'Av, and two in Hebrew it's two. Yeah,
Two, yeah.
I mean two in English, Tu B'Av in Hebrew two. And also the number 9, which is something that we can say about this. The number 9 is about truth. So Tisha B'Av, it's kabbalistically, or numerology of emet is 9, of truth. So and Av also means father. So it's like the truth of the father. And I believe that when male consciousness comes to a point of balance, then Tisha B'Av can be a very joyful day, very empowering day for the world. And then Tu B'Av, it's already a place that we are striving towards. So we are definitely striving to love more and to be with each other more. Very, very nice to see how from following the truth we can reach this place that our heart is open and that we can feel love. Love between each other, between soulmates. We wrote all this stuff. So yeah, thank you. I mean, invite Jeff. Come on.
Do you guys want to come and?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Good, thank you. That was wonderful. So, you sit here.
Yeah. You move your guitar, and I'm not.
So we've really been sharing something beautiful together of bringing together an energy of light, looking at different places, different consciousnesses, looking at this picture, singing beautiful words, philosophy and meaning of life. For now, let's kind of bring together our energy as a group and individually. And I invite you to do that by just massaging your hands. Yaakov, you want to join us?
Ariel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since my dad. So you kind of massage your hands together. And just notice what happens when you massage your hands, like what takes place in your brain and takes place in your body. And then shake out your hands. And just place your hands very close together, almost touching. And just allow your curious, conscious mind to kind of go towards the sensation. Just notice the sensation that's present. Once you start to feel the energy in your hands, just try to feel it like a heat or a magnetic. You round your hands into a ball. And then you just kind of nurse the ball, kind of let it go back and forth, let it get stronger. You can do a great deal with it.
What?
Judy, you should mute yourself.
Well, let me mute myself. What are you doing?
There we go. Hi. I'm gonna mute me.
All right, Judy, just
Yeah,
if
we're
you mute yourself, then you won't come
Who's
online.
Thank
Where are
you.
you?
So,
Huh? What is that?
so let's just hold the space now for the energy.
Where are we here? Where's the video? What's the
Do they
video?
hear you?
I don't know. Where's the video? Now?
They're on.
What happened? Just me? Judy, you need to mute yourself because we're hearing all of you and Norman talking. So once we're holding an energy ball, we're building up some vibration. And I can feel the intensity in me, and I can feel it going around my body. But now what we want to do is, what I'd like to invite us to do is to create a group energy ball with those here in the room and those that are online, and send a blessing to this whole area of Jaffa Gate. This is an area where all the religions pass through. And it's just a crossover point. So now just, let's just open up our hands. You can start to feel like a collective ball of light together. It's easy here with this group of 4 of us. And you can hear in the background, there's the neighbors, there's Arabic being spoken. We're just sending a blessing to all the neighbors here in this beautiful region. And there's so many words that take place. We've had so many words on this line already. And words are powerful when they enter in and they touch our spirit. And words can transform into vibration, into love, into light. Or words can kind of fall flat and nothing happens. So let's allow and this the same is true with our energy coming out of our hands and body. Let's just allow our light to really shine out. And bring the light into this world. In a few days there'll be a full moon. The energy is changing. Something is building. So we just invite. So I'll just say a word of blessing, of thankfulness to Creator, for this beautiful creation of planet Earth. We're thankful for our human bodies, opportunity to be here, to experience this beautiful planet. We welcome in pure light into the cells of our bodies, these miracle cells that have created, that are all over the planet, and all of the wisdom and the light. We send a blessing to all the microbiome that's present in our planet and around, all the wisdom that's present. We welcome in angels and guides, the pure essence of love. So now there's a beautiful energy building, so let's just start to lift it up. And as we do so, we're sending it into the atmosphere so that all humanity may feel our love and our light and our blessing. Thank you all very much. I would just like to make you aware that I'm very happy to announce that I've published my book in a smaller version, in Hebrew and English, on the energy ball for health and spiritual growth. I have my other book on energy ball for peace ceremony. And this one's available on Amazon. The others are available, will be soon, but they're available through me. So it's really wonderful to have this opportunity to share energy ball. And I'm hoping many people around the world will start to use the energy ball, because I believe this is a simple tool that can help change the vibration individually and in groups. And it's great for all religions, doesn't matter who the people are. what age. It just works because energy is flowing through.
Oh, really good.
So thank you all very much.
It's great for workshops and it's great for singing circles as well.
Yeah, great for workshops, singing circles. It's a great way to bring something together. And then I can take it into deeper levels where it goes into the body.
It's also feel to me that it's great to do it before you have an important thing in your life, or before you go to a family dinner, or before you go through a meeting.
I have an exercise that says before you're traveling, how to prepare yourself. So before you travel, you work with the energy ball, and you work with it with guided imagery, with the magic, and with your intention. So you kind of combine it together, and that's what I did within the book. So it's exactly what you're saying. Before you're doing something, you prepare. I do it all the time. It doesn't take long.
You tune yourself like you're tuning a guitar before you play.
Video, exactly.
Right.
Thank you. Thanks, Ava.
Yeah.
I pass it back over, and I don't know
Yes.
what's next now.
I think Amrita would like to share because she's popping in from south of Sweden. Do you have anything, words of wisdom from Voice of Gaia or your own song or anything particular?
Thank you, Eva. Yeah, I feel a little bit towards the end of the day. It's been a very busy day, so
I'm sure. Open house.
just sing a song. I would love to share more about the Voice of Gaia. It's building beautiful. It's a vision that we're gathering together with the songs. I'm asking musicians where I feel are aligned with Earth, Mother Earth, and with consciousness to donate a song to Mother Earth and bring it to this circle in a website, and to connect from the heart, to let go of that song in the form like if it were we're building a mandala like the monks do. The inspiration came from watching the monks in Tibet and in Bhutan, where we were, draw these mandalas and then for days and weeks, and then blow them with a prayer into the wind for Mother Earth, for humanity. And I thought, what if we could all join and do this with songs around the earth for unity consciousness, to give back to Earth in the way she gives to us, and unconditionally. So I had a vision for many years to bring these together, and 2 years ago it started happening, and the volunteers came together, and we've been building this website, which is beautiful. You can all connect to if you want to, and start listening to all these musicians that are saying yes. Some of the songs are coming through, and art, and well, this portal of music and art is there for everyone's inspiration, and you can play it. And for me, it's a way to raise already, to listen and connect to this music all the time. So for musicians, it's lovely to have already that are singing these songs, but it's beautiful for everyone, right? So many are coming, and we are very inspired to keep calling people in. Oh, what song wants to come? What do you feel, Eva? Do you know my songs? Any special
If there's anything that you feel is connected to Jerusalem or to the beloveds or the celebration of the summer?
Or the beloveds?
Beloveds.
The beloveds. For me, the beloved is the soul. I always sing to God as the beloved, to that spirit of us, that part of us that we are all longing, that unity with the divine. May all humanity remember this divine connection within and without, and that everything comes from the same space, really. There's no separation. So may we all start really not only knowing and remembering, but experiencing this in many ways. Maybe there's a song. It's I sing this song to, I changed the lyrics of a bolero from Spanish that is very famous, a bolero, but I changed and I changed the lyrics and I gave it the significance of that singing with a merging of our divine, our Atman, our soul. That connection of the divine, the connection with the spirit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Divine
Already everything is falling. Okay. So let me sing that one. I'm sorry, it's very hot here. It's been so the instrument. I need to really check it really fast. Instruments don't like extreme heat or cold, huh?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'll send the name of your website on the chat if anybody's interested. There's a.
It's already beautiful what's happening because, well, we asked permission also to play some songs from the artists that are already linked to their personal projects or albums, or and so they give us always permission to play some of their songs there. And then they're just beginning to come, these songs like droplets, and it's beautiful. We aim to start maybe very soon to start doing these gatherings with these songs physically and what is coming, right? So I'm sorry, I'm taking some time here. So, okay, it's a song that is called Un Bolero.
Bolero.
Bolero. I've always admired how my people or people who come from Spain sing, people from my land sing in an amazing way. I've always wanted to sing this way, but I couldn't force it. I'm not a learned musician. The music came from the heart. It just really awakened. I still don't know music, and my longing was to sing boleros, and it felt it was impossible until one day just this bolero came, and I changed the lyrics. So I don't know who understands Spanish, but I'm going to translate it and then I can sing it. It says, dicen que una paloma guarda un silencio en cada mujer. So they say that a dove is keeping silence within every woman. And dicen que solo canta en el amor del acontecer. So they say that it only sings when love is happening within, when it's singing that beloved. And juran que el mismo anhelo ronda los techos del cielo al alba. So they swear that even longing itself, it's going around in circles of longing in heaven. And y que si el firmamento mira, nace una flor a los pies del alma, and that if the firmament is looking in that moment when this happens, then a lotus flower is born at the feet of the soul. Dicen que hay unas alas en el corazón de cada mujer. I'm playing with woman and the feminine in each of us. So they say that there's a pair of wings in the heart of every woman. Dicen que es la razón y el despertar del amanecer. They're saying that this is the reason and the awakening of the dawn. Juran que esa paloma no es otra cosa más que su alma. They are swearing that that soul, is nothing else, or that dove is nothing else but the soul of that feminine. And they say, dicen que una rosa espera como un beso en los labios de cada mujer. And they say that a flower is waiting in like a kiss in the lips of every woman. So that's how I transform that bolero. Dicen que una paloma guarda un silencio en cada mujer. Dicen que solo canta en el amor del acontecer. Juran que el mismo anhelo ronda los techos del cielo al alba. Y que si el firmamento mira, nace una flor a los pies del alma. Ay, ay, ay. Paloma. Ay, ay, ay. Ya no llora. Ya no llora y ahora canta. Dicen que hay unas alas en el corazón de cada mujer. Dicen que es la razón y el despertar del amanecer. Juran que esa paloma es otra cosa más que su alma. Dicen que una rosa espera como un beso en los labios de cada mujer. Ay, 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 paloma. Ay, 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 ya no llores, ya no lloras y ahora ella canta, canta. Ay, 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 ay,
Wow, beautiful. It's amazing.
I'm glad you like
Thank you. Gracias, señorita.
it.
I could feel like you were singing from within the old city because of Ariel has people hosted in his salon there. And it's like your singing is in the middle of the quarters. Beautiful.
For me, I don't know why I think of Jerusalem. I always think of the beloved. Even the word Jerusalem for me invokes the beloved.
Wow.
I don't know what it has, that word, but that's what I think. It's even Israel. When I say Israel, is the same. So there's a seed of the beloved within this culture, I believe. This is my feeling. This is the deep feeling or the deep knowing in my heart.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, just the other device, not a battery, but I wanted to say that I remember you sang the song about a year ago or so in our gatherings, in our Zoom gatherings, you know, and it's such a beautiful song. And I've just been reading my son, it's Bashevis Zinger, children interpretation of the story of Noah's Ark, and the book is called Why Noah Chose the Dove.
Wow.
Okay. And it's a very beautiful story. It's like, I'll just tell you because it's not very long. And it's just basically all the animals started coming to the ark while he was building it. And the elephant came and said, I'm the biggest and I have the biggest ears and the longest trunk and the heaviest legs. And the lion is like, I am the strongest. And the tiger is like, I'm just as strong as the lion. And everyone had their own thing. Like the skunk says, I have the most beautiful perfume that everybody knows about. And you know, yeah. And then the dove just doesn't speak, it just doesn't say anything. And Noah's like, okay, you animals, just stop talking. Why are you not saying anything? And she's like, okay, it's because I don't see myself as the most beautiful or the most smart, but I have a purpose. And my purpose is whatever it is, and I just do what I'm doing, and we all have our beauty, and it's okay. And then Noah chose the dove for that, and she's the one who brought when the rain stopped, she's the one who brought the olive branch, and she became a symbol of peace. And it's really like a bird that doesn't have any. You could look at it in nature; they don't have really any enemies or any. They don't really fight with anyone or anything. They just do their thing, and they're even friendly with people. You can go and like feed them in squares. They're very sweet, very nice, So it's a very, very meaningful bird, the paloma.
It's funny because that is the only part of the bolero I haven't changed, which is that, well, I changed the words, right? In the bolero it says, ya no llores. I'm saying ya no llores because ay is in the bolero is like how they're crying, right? And it cries. So I'm just changing and saying, do not cry anymore. Now sing, right? Saying, calling to that part of us, that dove within our hearts, to not cry anymore and start singing. And singing is not only singing, we can sing the song of our soul by doing what we came here to do, right? That calling in our heart, that is your song. When I say song, they imagine that, now I need to start singing. Not if you want to, what makes your heart sing, that is what I mean. What makes it happy and joyful and full of light and love. And yes, of course, this music that can be silent, that is only happiness. When someone is emanating happiness, there's amazing tones for them from that being, amazing frequencies. We may not hear it as what we call music, but it's emanating the most amazing, beautiful music, because it's fulfilling, it's a purpose, it's calling on earth, right? And I'm manifesting it. This is what we come here to do, manifest our highest calling. So may many of us manifest our highest calling, whatever that is.
Amen.
Unite with that beloved. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for being such an inspiration. Thank you, Jonathan. I love that story, and I may borrow it now when I sing this song too, and pass it along.
You you can read it. It's Yitzhak Bashevis Zinger. He's a famous Israeli author. And for some reason, we have the book in our house in English. But I know it's because of this. I know it's translated to English, but it's originally written in Hebrew.
He's the one who's revived the Yiddish now.
He also, yeah, he's famous for that too. Yeah. He also wrote a lot of books that are not for children. It's very.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Chaim Cohen came in. Thank you. Wow, that was beautiful. And is Ariel still there and Jeff? Or do they have anything they want to share still?
Anything you guys want to do? Want to share something? Say something.
That was such a beautiful song. Peace, Dove in the old city. And Chaim Cohen came in. Asaf is still with us. Annalisa. Jacob said he would come in. We're not sure if he'll come in. And who else? Maybe Karine from Spain. She'll come in, and Yvette from Greece. But I think we're coming towards the end. It's probably that time. But if anyone wants to share anything else, we didn't hear so much.
Maybe Asaf wants to share something. We'd love to hear Asaf. Didn't hear him at all. He's with us. I haven't seen him or heard.
I'm listening and tuning in to another energy vibe from the one that I'm in. So I'm connecting to you guys and connecting to the energies that you're trying to bring up and connect to the world. So I feel that, and thank you for that.
Thank you, Asaf, for being there. Your presence is important. Thank you. Chaim Cohen,
Yes.
do you have any words of wisdom from the Holy Land?
Just that all the interactions, Annalisa's amazing paintings and the guest that is hosting, Jeff and Jonathan, sharing how he got the apartment and connecting particles, the harmony, and just bringing up imams and rabbis' piece and a lot of the events that we did together many years ago, and holding hands, as you said, in the four corners, just everything coming together, and just a really beautiful meditation.
Thank you.
Just everything was very beautiful. It was a very special evening. Just want to bless that, that we should really, all the work that we've invested in, together, if you look at all of us, we probably invested close to 1,000 years in trying to increase. I just hope that one day that we will realize it, and see the fruits.
Amen.
Yeah, it's been really great. Really great.
Thank you for being you, Chaim. You're holding a big space. You're holding a big space. So I send you all the love and strength.
I was arrested last night. It was just really crazy. It was just
What?
really. I had just a crazy experience, and I was walking and nothing. It was just kind of weird. But it all turned out okay in the end. But it just life will be good. So I can say life will be good.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just okay. Okay, I'm just planning really when I walk, and I walked a lot of the different parts of the trail already, and just want to just do the whole thing. Just
Okay, well,
looking at day on the tulip in 2 months. It's called the European Heritage Day, and you can look it up on the internet. European Heritage Day is on September 21st.
Okay.
At the same time, we're talking about the 2020 vision and the tulip. So there's this amazing group of people that I connected with over the past 2 years that are really thinking about doing this amazing project together. I have a short video that I made of the project. It's really very, very special. It's very special.
So send it to us.
It's just like everything that we've all done. It's just like focusing and bringing to understand the background, because the video is just, I went to this place that that we want this thing to happen. But the idea is the whole background, the whole connection. And like, if you want, I can share it with you on one foot. You can already see me because I'm standing in the dark here, but it seems like it's where there's some light.
It's
And I
hard to
can
hear.
maybe see.
It's hard to hear
I know, I
yours.
told you, I'm really in a place with very bad Wi-Fi, and I went especially tonight
So
to get
send
to a
us the
place.
video and we'll look at
Okay,
it.
so I'll
Thank you so much.
the base, okay, good enough. Thank you so much for everything. Just thank you for holding this amazing space over the past
God bless.
year and 7 months, 8 months. Been very special.
Be strong. And we'll see you in Israel, God willing.
I don't know wherever I be when we see each other,
Okay.
wherever we are on the planet.
Paris, Sweden, America, Jerusalem.
Mhm.
Okay, Jonathan. Thank you, Chaim.
Thank you.
We can hear you, Jonathan.
You can?
No.
But where's the person that was with you, that's hosting you, Jonathan?
Yeah, where's Ariel?
Yeah, went out for a second. He had to go out for a second. Come back.
Ah, okay.
Just thank him for his amazing stories and what he was sharing. Very,
I will.
very special.
I'll tell him. Can you hear me now? Is that better?
Ja, that is Swedish for yes, ja.
This song came to me now because I feel that we've used a lot of words, and like this song doesn't have any words. And you guys are welcome to sing along, but I suggest that everybody mutes themselves so there's no
Okay.
feedback going on or no delay in the sound. Everybody can hear the sound. It's from Brazil. By a person called Karaoke. That's how he calls himself, Karaoke. But with a C, not with a K, not like karaoke. Very special person. Wrote tens, hundreds of songs. Amazing person. Really
You
amazing.
know so many songs, Jonathan. You're amazing. Is there any country you don't have a song from?
Any country? Probably a lot. Most countries they don't have a song from.
Okay.
They only sing in like 6 or 7 languages, I think, and not that much.
You have to have a Swedish one soon, or Iceland, or
It would be great. Yeah,
Nordic.
Swedish, Finnish. I want Swedish. I want French. Also, I don't have French. Been French.
We'll send you some.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Very good. So yeah, it's really nice. Thank you, Eva.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Amrita. Thank you, Asaf. Thank you, Chaim. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Tulips. Thank you,
Tulips,
Alden.
they're just there hanging out, waiting for you guys to
Jeff
bloom.
also, thank you for Jeff.
And Jeff, and yeah, say thank you to them. They disappeared, all the guys in the Armenian quarter.
They came in and danced now that I played the song. So
Oh, they came and danced. That's nice.
yeah.
We're here.
They just don't.
We're here.
Hello. What's your name?
They want to sit on the couch, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Wow.
Yeah, Jeff is still here too.
Hi there.
Fantastic.
Thanks a lot. Wonderful to be on. See you next month.
Thanks, Jeff.
Nice.
God bless. לילה טוב.
תודה לכולם על החיבור. לילה
תודה
טוב.
רבה. I feel like I was in Jerusalem. I love it. Thank you so much.
אני יכול להגיד בעברית, I can say in Hebrew, this, maybe I'll explain after what it is, but יהי רצון מלפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, שתצעידנו לשלום ותוליכנו לשלום, ותגיענו למחוז חפצנו, לחיים, לברכה, לשמחה, לאהבה ולשלום. וגם כשצריך תחזירנו לשלום, תשלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידינו, תתננו לחן ולחסד ולרחמים בעיניך ובעיני כל רואינו. כי אל שומע כל תפילה ותחנון אתה. ברוך אתה אדוני, שומע תפילה.
אמן, אמן, אמן. תודה, יופי.
It's basically a prayer that you say, if anyone doesn't know that this is the prayer that you say when you go on the road, and you go somewhere, and you say this prayer. It's like just a blessing for your journey. That's what it is. And we're all going on a journey. When we're living here, and we're going on a journey, whatever it is. So may it be blessed. I hope.
Right.
And Eva, we'll talk more. I'm gonna get off now.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody, and we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, and I'll call you also, Chaim, because I want to see. And Hanalisa, thank you so much for your amazing art. Amrita, you
Thank
missed
you
her.
so much, everybody. Thank you so much. You're all
God bless.
amazing.
Hashem shomer al kulam. Much love. Na see you Amrita tomorrow. Wow. Yeah. Oh, I can't hear a thing. What happened? Everybody got unmuted. Asked to unmute. Asked to unmute.
Annalisa, is that your painting in the back?
Yeah, she showed the amazing. I'm gonna. Can you unmute yourself, Annalisa? She showed these amazing Jerusalem headquarter paintings. You
Really?
missed.
Oh, but you recorded it. Maybe I can see
Yeah,
it.
Annalisa. Can you unmute yourself? By the way, she needs to be in Voice of Gaia. She has amazing art.
It would be amazing if she's inspired.
Annalisa, how about you connect you two afterwards? She has this wonderful music and art website, Amrita. And she has these visions of the third temple coming down from above to over Jerusalem. You have to have them in your Voice of Gaia.
Wow, that's amazing.
Amrita,
You need to unmute her, Eva, because you're the host, huh? Who's the host?
no, but she's unmuted. Annalisa, woo.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, now you closed it. Now, there you go. Can you talk to, can you send some of your artwork to Amrita?
on what?
Can you send your artwork to Amrita in an email or messenger?
Oh, don't worry. I can.
Oh, yeah. Well, are you on Facebook?
I am. Yes.
Okay, so you can befriend me virtually.
Beautiful.
I'll send you her number, her name now on WhatsApp.
I don't know what name you have on Facebook, but yeah, I am on this name, Hannah Alisa Omer on Facebook. You can
Right, just copy it, Amrita.
You will find me. I'm Rita Magdala.
And I'll send you a video that you can see her work too. I'll send you a video.
And there is some explanation as well, and we can talk about it as well.
Beautiful, beautiful, amazing.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see it. I already see the frequency coming out from the wall. So it's
oh yeah,
it's emanating.
I'm going to send you a video of a co-visioning where she presented her artwork.
Yes.
And you weren't in it, I think. Where is it with Chayot Man?
But you recorded it, Eva. Maybe you can show me when you come here.
Okay.
We're gonna
All
see
right.
each other in 2 days.
Yes, ma'am.
And
tomorrow.
Where do you live, Amrita? Where do you live?
Yeah, I'm living in Sweden at the moment, but very soon we may go. So we don't know what is next. But at the moment in Sweden, in South Sweden, in an area, Småland. Huh?
Småland.
I don't know how to say that. Småland. You say it. You're the Swedish one.
Småland.
Småland. And yeah, Eva is coming. She's staying with us this summer, which has been very lovely and a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're gonna do some artwork.
Yeah,
and
we're gonna get together.
I'm gonna send you some art when I'm finished. Yeah, you have to see.
Beautiful, perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
Oh,
Good night. God bless you. Be well, be happy, be joyous, everybody. Thank you, Annalisa.
Oh.
Bye-bye.
God bless you. Be well, be happy.
Chaim
Enjoy.
Cohen. God bless
Good
you
night,
too.
everybody.
Thank you, Chaim. Good night.
Good night. Good night, Annalisa. Thank you for the amazing art. I'm sure that Yitzhak's up above looking down at us and saying that we're doing his work.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful to see Yitzhak share the poems and says, oh, he was sitting here near me on the table. That was amazing. It was so nice. I'm glad you both spoke at the same time today. Yeah, great, Annalisa. Well, we're gonna have somebody do that Kabbalah game. Don't give up. I mean, keep talking about it. It's very important. Okay. Laila Tov, Hamudim.
Laila Tov.
Amrita, so tomorrow, did you hear the time? Did you hear? No. Okay, so I'll write.
What did you say? What did you say?
No, I was asking, I'm telling Amrita that I'm coming to her tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, I can pick you up. So what time you come?
At 5:40.
Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful.
I can't wait to hear how it was for you today, and we'll talk more.
Oh, I tell you all.
Yeah?
Yes, we talk. There's many things happening.
Lovely. So see you tomorrow.
Everyone, nice to see you all.
Go.
Woo.
Bye.